Hi everyone, and welcome back to episode 5. And this episode we're talking about consolidation. So consolidation is a culmination of all of the knowledge that you learned throughout your theory and your clinical experience. So essentially what you're doing is no longer attending lectures, but you are working 12 hours a day with a nurse that you are paired with for a total of 320 hours. Now, that doesn't sound like a ton. However, no classes that you went through up until now were ever 12 hours long. So it is a tremendous undertaking, and it does basically pull apart your daily routine in your life because you are doing either day shifts or night shifts or a combination of both, and you are following a preceptor's schedule. So you don't have the autonomy that you maybe used to have, and you are following somebody's set work schedule for the next 3 months. So in the beginning, you are giving your preceptor your portfolio and you're introducing yourself and going from there. Now, a typical day would be 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So you're either working a day shift or a night shift, and as I just said, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. is an entire day. So it is a huge undertaking and it is a big shakeup to your life. So you will have to communicate at this point to your spouse or to your family members that, hey, I'm going to need a lot of support and I'm not going to have as much time for the next 3 months. However, this is wrapping up all of your nursing. Now, this big change comes with big burnout potential. Because you are no longer able to maintain things like your exercise schedule or your sleep schedule, you will have to really prepare and really take care of your wellness. So I found it really important to make sure that I was meditating and journaling and getting the sleep when I could, taking naps when I could, and also making sure that I prepared for my foods. And so I did mention before, foods at hospitals are usually crappy foods. However, they're also not even available. When you're working a night shift, nothing is available. And you don't really have time to go out and do something. So if you're wanting to run down to a cafeteria during a day shift, you're again limited by the time that the preceptor has. So really important to prepare your lunches, maybe look at something like Instacart to help you deliver your groceries, or HelloFresh, something to help you with preparing for meals and making sure that you're nourishing your body through a very challenging 3 months. Now, one thing that crept up on me in consolidation was some personality difficulties. So there are people working on the floor, and I'm not sure if you heard this saying, but it's nurses eat their young. So sometimes you are linked up with someone, or you have someone on the floor that really just doesn't like you being there. And I would recommend just addressing those personality issues head on, just going in and explaining, hey, I'm a student and I'm learning and I'm here to try to get ahead and consolidate my knowledge, and I would really appreciate the help and not the trife. So it's helpful to get ahead of those and not let those compound, because 3 months can become just very hard if someone is constantly giving you grief. So try to get ahead of that and stay on top of it if it does happen. It happened for me, and I was really quick about just having a quick conversation and making sure we're on the same page. And after that, the rest of my consolidation period was fantastic. Now, parking is also not free, so that is something that you want to make sure that you have budgeted for going into your consolidation, as 3.5 months at a location such as a hospital can typically run you very expensive. So you will be learning a lot of new techniques when it comes to being in your consolidation period, and another way you can kind of amplify this experience is to ask to be buddied with another nurse. So although you do have your one preceptor that you are scheduled with and following their day-to-day, you can ask, if you have a good relationship, to maybe buddy with another nurse for an hour or 2 hours, maybe even half of a shift, so that you can pick up, the subtle differences in how everybody else practices the profession. So some nurses have way stronger bedside manners than other nurses, and you can kind of pick up that experience. And you can also maybe pick up different skills. So if one nurse is very strong in doing blood draws or setting up IV lines, it's very beneficial to be buddied with that nurse for even a couple of hours, so you can get that experience where your preceptor might be stronger in other areas, maybe such as wound care, and so your entire 3 months can be more rounded around doing wound care, but at least you have that 4 hours where you can, practice doing IVs and setting up lines and things like that. The last thing I will mention there with consolidation is to definitely treat this like a job. So this will be your introduction into the nursing profession in the most real world way, because when you are reaching for references and people to talk about you and to you for getting into the profession, you have no better place to start than to reach out to the preceptors that had you for your consolidation. So a lot of people that I know as well also did aim to essentially try to get a job with the floor that they were consolidating on, and they said that when they first came in, they said, I'm looking to work on this floor, and they treated it like a job. They put their best foot forward, made sure that they were punctual when they were showing up on time, showing that, if you do hire me in the future, I will be an excellent candidate, and I will learn and become eventually a superb nurse in this service. So wrapping all of that up with consolidation, I hope that is helpful, and hopefully that gives you just a bit of an idea of what to expect going into the last monstrous part of your nursing studies. So I will catch you back here in episode 6 talking about the board exam, which is now out of nursing school into the real world, and I'm just going to give you some tips on what I found helpful. See you guys in episode 6.